Hey, family. It is your girl, Chef Evelyn here, and I am back with another video. If this is your first time here, welcome to the family. And if you've been here before, then welcome back. You know what we do over here. And I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a different style video today, which is I want to tell you how I personally healed my relationship with food. And there's a couple of different points along the way, but I want to share this story with the hopes that it will encourage someone in this new year that if you're really thinking about getting on a healthy eating journey for good, like you really want to change your lifestyle and you really want to progress to having a better relationship with food, then maybe this will be encouraging and beneficial, and maybe you can glean some nuggets from my experience. So I'll start by saying this. I don't necessarily think that I grew up with like really unhealthy eating habits. I did most of the cooking, but it wasn't like we were eating, soul food or comfort food every day. We were eating a lot of, budget gourmets. Like I did eat a lot of those at one point. I remember we had a deep freezer and I would eat those. But in general, I don't remember eating a lot of fast food. I don't remember eating a lot of processed foods. I just felt like we ate fairly normal and we didn't think it was that bad. So fast forward, I go to culinary school, I leave engineering behind, and I love it. But when I get into culinary entrepreneurship, I start getting all these requests to come do like healthy cooking classes and healthy cooking demos, and I turned them down. I had this belief that healthy food was boring and restrictive and bland and all this kind of stuff, and I did not want to have anything to do with it whatsoever. And when I say I turned down some like big name people, sometimes I just kick myself because my unhealthy relationship with food at the time really cost me some amazing opportunities. And so time goes on, and then unfortunately in 2016 I get diagnosed with cancer. And I remember sitting in the doctor's office and my mom was there and the doctor was in front of me, and I remember the doctor saying, Evelyn, after I tell you this, you're not going to hear anything I have to say after that, right? And so she gives me the news, and the first words out of my mouth is I turn to my mother and I say, I don't want to hear anything about going vegan. Now, let's pause. Let's put a pin right there. I've just got diagnosed with a life-threatening illness, and the first thought that comes to my mind is I don't want to change my eating habits. And I think in that moment, even though I was still in shock about the news, I think I knew in that moment, I've got a problem here. And, maybe that hasn't happened to you, but maybe, like for whatever reason in your life, you haven't been able to tackle this healthy eating thing. Or maybe, despite your best efforts, every year you try to get on a healthier eating journey and you can't seem to sustain it. Or every time you get stressed out, you go and you eat all the things. Or, maybe it's a variety of things. Or maybe you feel like your life is too busy, and as much as you want to eat healthy, it's just more convenient to do something else. Or maybe you've watched, like a lot of my students have, you watched all these documentaries and now you're terrified. You are terrified of what you can eat because everybody done told you everything's going to kill you. And so even after I got diagnosed, I remember going the alternative route, and I did a lot of videos about how like cancer changed my cooking. And because I wasn't going to get chemo, because I wasn't going to get radiation, because I wasn't going to get surgery, changing my diet was a huge part of my treatment plan. And I remember, and I've told this story several times, but if you haven't heard it, nestle in. It's short, sweet, sad. Anyway, I remember going into Whole Foods with this new lengthy CVS receipt long list of restrictions, right? And y'all know them CVS receipts be unnecessary long. And that's how I felt this new restrictive diet that I was on. I felt it was that long. And so I remember going into Whole Foods that used to be a place of joy for me and exploration and all this kind of stuff. I remember going in there and I remember standing there going, what can I eat now? And I remember feeling I'm about to get emotional. I remember feeling so discouraged and feeling like this diet was some kind of punishment for eating bad in the past or not taking care of my body. I didn't think I was going to get emotional because this has been years ago. And I was angry. To be honest, I was angry. I was like, why does it have to be so hard? Why does it have to be so complicated? Why does it have to be so restrictive? And I felt like I didn't have a choice, right? I felt like I have to do this now. And I feel like that all the fun that I had and the joy that food previously had brought me had been stolen from me. I felt that I had given up my career in engineering to follow my love for food. And here I am. I was going to have to eat quote unquote rapid food for the rest of my life, or I thought I was going to die. And so, oh my goodness, wow. And so I just remember that feeling. And so I remember I tried to get my willpower up, and I tried to be like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And it worked for a while. And then I fell off. And I was like, wow, like if a cancer diagnosis is not enough to make me stick to it, what is happening? And so I really kind of went back and I took all my years of experience, because at this point I had done healthy cooking classes and my jobs and different things that I had done. And I realized that there were all these pitfalls that got in the way. I was more afraid of food than I was informed about it. I thought it was going to take forever. I thought that I could wing it. I thought that I had to have all these restrictive things. I thought I had to do all these diets. And those things were good for me because of the medical state that I was diagnosed with. But I remember thinking, how long am I going to have to do this? Like, I can't do this forever. And so I remember being in the midst of that, and a friend was having a birthday party and going to the restaurant and literally crying in the restaurant. Y'all, I'm a crier if you can't tell. I remember crying in the restaurant because I didn't see anything on the menu that I could enjoy. And I was just like, bruh, like I can't live like this. And if this is how I'm going to have to live and cook and eat, it's not going to work for me. And I just was like, I just rather give up. And I remember even at one point in time thinking, it'd just be easier if they just go take all these organs out, because this eating healthy journey is not worth it to me. I actually remember thinking that. And so I was at home, and I lost a fight with a bowl of cream of wheat and gelato. And I think I tell that in another video or one of the podcasts, but we're not going to tell it today. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. But I remember after losing that fight with the bowl of cream of wheat and the bowl of gelato, that I finally was ready. That I finally was like, okay, I don't have to do this. I get to do this. Some people don't get the opportunity. Some people, it's been too late. And not just about a diagnosis or a cancer diagnosis, but it could be diabetes. It could be just getting their weight off. It could be just wanting to feel good about taking care of themselves, just wanting to have the energy, just wanting their skin to clear up, just wanting to teach their kids how to eat healthy, just wanting to set a different tone in their family. And so I just decided one day that I was going to change. And what I really had to do was I had to overcome these obstacles that I talk a lot about in the Fun Food Academy, and we go into detail about, and how you can devise your own plan and your own way around it. I had to create a healthier relationship with food. Like, why did I think that this had to be hard? Like, where did I get that thought from? Why did I think it was bland? Why did I think it was not delicious? Why did I think that? I knew that I was going to have to take this really expensive culinary degree that I had, and I needed to put it to work, and I was going to have to cook at home more and cook better and make it delicious. And I knew the only way that it was going to work for me was it couldn't be about a long list of restrictions. It was going to have to be about exploration and curiosity, and not about a culinary straitjacket. And so that's the journey I embarked upon. And I remember kind of putting it all together in a course and teaching it at a church here in Dallas. And I remember I had someone in the class tell me, like, I've been to a nutritionist, I've been to a dietitian, and don't get me wrong, I think those people are super, super, super important. They were like, but you are giving me what to do once I actually get in the kitchen and I have to live this thing out in life. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about the Fun Food Academy, because while the name sounds very lighthearted, like, it's a big deal. Like, you can get off of medication. People in your life can get off of medication. You can save money. You can rebuild your families. You can treat yourself better. You don't even know how good you can feel or how good you can look. Okay? Your hair can be flourishing, your nail, your skin, your eyes. Like, there's so much, and it doesn't have to be about fake foods and fake meats and replacement this and replacement that. It doesn't have to be that way. I think the way I had to heal my relationship with food is I just had to be honest with myself and know that there was a different truth that I could embrace, that this could be fun. I think until I decided that it was going to be fun for me, until I decided that it was going to be delicious, like, if it wasn't delicious, I wasn't going to do it. And it also had to be healthy. And until I made that a non-negotiable, like, I'm not doing one or the other, it has to be both. Like, I think that's when the process of how to make food fun really came to me, and how I healed my relationship with food. And now I'm so not fearful of food. I'm so not like, oh, I can't have this and I can't have that and I can't. I have a totally different mindset about the way I choose to feed myself, the way I choose to feed my body, the way I choose to share with family and friends. I just have a completely different approach to it. And it's so easy and relaxed and joyful and fun, and like, it's a good time. But I had to go through a process to get there. So I kind of just wanted to share that video with you. I know it was kind of all over the place, but as we're in a new year, we're in a new decade, I know that even if your story is not the same as mine, like, you tired of the same old. Like, you tried smoothies for 10 days. You tried a 21-day this. You've tried to be vegan, or I'm only going to do this, you know. You've tried paleo, and, like, you've gotten results, but you're like, forever? Like, forever? Like, you're just like, those things are cool, but I know they're not going to stick. You know what I'm saying? And so if that's you, then I invite you to join me in the Fun Food Academy. And I'm going to walk you through the process on how I created a healthier relationship with food, how I created my strategic healthy eating lifestyle game plan, how I overcome the obstacles that trip us up, that I've learned from teaching people how to cook for the past decade, and finding the similarities in what people really want and what they really need. And I will tell you, measuring out your food, tracking your calories is not it. I will say this, I think those things can be effective for limited times, but as a lifestyle, if you've always got to put your food on the scale for a lifestyle, like, then you're not going to enjoy it. If you've got to go get needles and get your blood drawn to figure out just what you can eat, like, you're not going to enjoy it. If you've got to track macros and micros, I don't even know what all that is. Even if it just becomes this, like, science experiment. Like, it's not fun. There's a different way. And I'm not saying those ways aren't effective or people haven't gotten results. But if you know that that's not for you and you're looking for a different way, come holler at me. I did it a different way. I'm doing it a different way. I'm continuing my healthy journey in a different way. So that's it. You can get all the details at funfoodacademy.com, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.